Up till now, no president of any nation don't send us condolence visits. The other nation, they beef us. They know the beef person now for flour. Up till now, nobody don't talk say, may they send us one condolence visit, talk say, oh, Nigerians, we see where to now they pass through, take heart. Even to enemies, they send condolence visit. All of them don't lock up. Nobody. They just leave us to they carry our cross, they go on our own. Now we don't write one full letter. All of them, they carry on for mind though. Even all these African countries, ECOWAS, they thought say they do meeting for our head. People say they do meeting for our head though. They go just gather, they talk saying this Nigerian, they don't their own don't too much. Their own they their body self. No send condolence message. No send any condolence message at all. You get as this in view. Even our neighbor Ghana. Ghana say, I don't see Ghana condolence message. They send and we know. Sierra Leone, Cameroon. She later now will call us big brother. You get something where we know. Now be don't send before. But you get as this thing be, it looks somehow. It's very much suspicious. There is no way something. Do you know the president, the person that died? Do you know the person? The former president of the most populous black nation. The largest. Nigeria is about 200 and something million people. We are not hidden. We are not minority. When you talk about Africa, now when you hear about Nigeria, have you been to Africa? Now Nigeria, they talk about Niger blood. There is no place in this earth that you will not see at least one Nigerian in the market or in the school or in the professional places. There is no place. You doubt me, enter any market, you can shout, what did they happen? Person must shout, nothing they happen. To show you that we are everywhere. And now the former president, not even the former, the immediate past president passed away. And none of you can send any message. Even Donald Trump. Because when Buhari was the president of Nigeria, Donald Trump was the president of America then. That was when he called Nigeria shithole country. Even Donald Trump could not even send an angry message. The president of the shithole country is gone. R.I.P. And anger message. Or no, use abbreviation. R.I.P. No, say in a verse. This one, you don't even write anything. You don't leave us to the go like that. No president don't even send anything. Is that something you people are not telling us? Mamma mia.
Corrupt democracy in Nigeria. So let's talk about the positioning for power in 2027, because that's when, assuming you run for president, you will have another chance to test your popularity in Nigeria. Lots of reports about realignments and various political groups and individuals said to be coming together to wrest power from the APC. How much are you in that mix?
Charles, I'm one person who is very reluctant at talking about 2027. I'll just probably gloss over it. Because we have a critical situation, Charles, where we're not addressing it. We have a country where our debt in 2015 is between 15 and 17 trillion. Now we have a country with a debt of 150 to 170 trillion. A country where our cost of debt servicing is now higher than our critical areas of budget for critical development, education, health, pulling people out of poverty. And we are discussing 2027. Charles, let's stay with what is happening today.
Yeah, but the fact is that you are discussing 2027.
I am part of it. And all I say, and that's what I'm going to say now, is that whatever realignments, whatever coming together, we must discuss the future of this country. We're not just going to, I'm not going to be part of just wrestling power for power's sake. No. I want to know that we're going to do this in order to be able to invest in education, invest in health, invest in pulling our people out of poverty. How can a country with this size of uncultivated land not be able to feed itself?
Well, let me stay with that point of 2027. The reason is purely because it is enormously important, because those who support you, they want to see some sense of direction about what's going to happen next and whether or not you're going to try to realize that ambition again. I mean, some prominent opposition politicians have suggested that you should abandon your ambition of contesting the next presidential election and team up with Atiku Abubakar again as his deputy.
Which prominent politicians?
With an agreement, well, I'm not going to mention names, but I mean, quite a number of them have suggested that you should team up with Atiku Abubakar as his deputy with an agreement that after one term, he will work to make you president. They say that without this alliance, both you and Atiku will lose in 2027. What is your reaction to that?
Charles, elections are won, elections are lost by the vote of the people. All these things you're talking and all these things people are talking is because we are not democratic. Charles, we are talking of working together for the sake of the country, not because of political posts. I've said it before.
But if you don't have political power, you won't be able to change the country.
Charles, agree with that. That's why I've always said, I'm not desperate to be president. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work. Charles, it is all these alliances, all these groupings that brought us to where we are today. Because people were blinded. Instead of seeing what they would do to make the country work, make the country productive, they were focused on wrestling power. What are we going to use the power to do?
Yeah, but you ran for office in 2023. You wanted to wrest power from
Yes,
the
because
APC.
I wanted to do something.
Right.
Charles, I wanted to do something. I wanted to use it. By now, you would have been seeing the impact on education visibly. And I'm not talking about people coming to say it in TVs. You will be seeing it visibly. I would have even been visiting the schools.
Well, that's why some of
the health. You would have been seeing the primary. We have over 70% of our primary care are not functional.
But that's why some of your supporters are saying that for you to make this happen, you have to be able, you've got to be positioned, they say, to win the presidency.
Don't say my support. Don't just say some of my followers. I want Nigerians to know it is about their country.
Indeed.
So many Nigerians today don't know where the next meal will come from. They don't know. Several people have been to hospitals where people can't leave the hospitals because they can't pay. We have less than 5% insurance, health insurance in this country, when comparable countries like Indonesia have 95%.
Yes, but you're not going to be able to change that unless you become president.
No, but the people have to know and know that this man can do it.
Well, the argument is that even if you win in 2027, you'll be forced or prevailed upon to hand over to the North after just one term in 2031, which will not be enough for you to fulfill these electoral, let me just make the point, these electoral promises. Whereas if you worked with a one-term northern presidency in 2027, you'd be more likely to scale through in 2031, assuming the North keeps to the agreement. Does that sound like a reasonable proposal to you? Because you mentioned Yaradua, who came into office. He had to come into office before he started trying to change things.
Charles, the president that is there today, how many years has he stayed? 2 years. And you could see where we are. Look at the turn of things in 2 years. That means that you can change things in 2 years. If I was there in 2 years, Charles, that you would have seen considerable change. In critical areas, I would have tackled corruption head on. I would have reduced cost of governance. And you will see it. People will feel it. And those monies invested in critical areas. Our primary health care today, I told you, 70% are not functional. And we spent over 35 billion in conference center. Which conference? Who is coming for the conference? You need to invest your money properly. Just you have been seeing borrowed money invested in critical area. We, a country in Bangladesh with 148,000 square kilometers of land, is producing about 60 million metric tons of rice. And us, with over 6 times that size of land, cannot do 10% of that. Charles, there's room here. You talked about devaluation of Naira. There's nothing wrong in devaluation. I would have done something. I would have allowed the Naira to float. But I would have done it in an organized manner. There will be productivity. The idea of devaluing your currency, allowing it to float, to be cheaper, is that you have productivity so you can export, so people can come and buy. But when you don't have productivity and you devalue your currency, it's double whammy because you have nothing to sell. So I would have injected money in productivity. Today, nobody is producing anything. Somebody told me a few days ago, said, oh, they've removed there's no more tax or this on some of the manufacturing inputs and everything. And all. I said, no. How can you manufacture? How can you do business when your interest rate is over 40%? Yeah, one of the biggest costs of manufacturing today, cost of production today, is interest rate. Charles, nobody borrows money at over 40% to do a business that is shared. You can only borrow, it's only government that is borrowing that amount of money at that cost. So you need to do the right things, and you can do it.